Well, g'day curd nerds. Welcome to Ask the Cheeseman number 11. The first question today is from Chuck. That's via email. He writes, Gavin, I have a Jarlsberg that seems to be ready to be opened. It was waxed at the beginning of November and it was bought out at room temperature on December the 1st. It is swelling quite nicely, requiring repairs 3 times so far. I seem to have bad luck of poorly aged cheeses. When do I cut off the wax? Well, thanks, Chuck. Jarlsberg style cheese is best ripened, as you probably know from reading the recipe, at 16 to 18 Celsius, which is 60 to 64 Fahrenheit, for about 6 weeks. Any warmer, then the eyes will develop quickly and you may only need about 4 weeks. If the eye development starts getting out of control, then you can put it back into your cheese fridge and lower the temperature down back to about 13 degrees Celsius, and that'll slow the eye development down. Now you can continue to mature that at that lower temperature for the normal period of the 6 weeks. Now, a tip for cheese makers in warmer climates: if you're going to make this style of cheese in summer, don't. Basically, it's just too hard to keep the temperature down low unless you've got a separate fridge that you can keep at a lower temperature than your other kitchen fridge, or higher than your normal cheese fridge. Personally, I make it during the autumn or the winter or in spring. Our house normally during those 3 seasons is roughly about 16 to 18 degrees because we don't have heating on and we've got double glazing. Anyway, there's some tips. Well, the next question is from Bill via email. Now, Bill asks, Gavin, perhaps you can tell me why all my hard cheeses, Colby, Farmhouse Cheddar, and Monterey Jack, are all crumbly when I cut them. I have been using the packet of Direct Set Cheese Culture, 1 packet per 2 gallons of milk. I salt brined both the Colby and the Monterey Jack, and they are still crumbling. Okay. Any information would be appreciated. Okay, no problems, Bill. Sounds very crumbly. Now, very crumbly cheese is a sign that the curd was cooked at too high a temperature, or that the curd was stirred for too long and it lost too much whey. Now, a simple test for that is to take a handful of your curds part way through stirring and gently squeeze them into a ball. Now, if they don't fall apart straight away, and then you can press your finger into the little curd ball, or your thumb, into the little curd ball, and it breaks apart easily, then it's ready to press for those type of cheeses that you mentioned. And I guarantee you that those cheeses will not be crumbly. So those type of hard cheeses, that's a very simple test to try. Okay, the last question is from Diane Thomas via email. Now, Diane writes, Hi Gavin, I bought some White Stilton with bits of apricot in it at Trader Joe's here in Oregon. I am going to make some White Stilton tomorrow, leaving out the blue. My question is, when would you add the dried apricot bits? Not when you would normally have added the blue, because they would sink to the bottom of the pot, but rather at the time of milling the salt. Is this what you would do? Help, in big letters, from a newbie curd nerd who jumps in with both feet, sterilised of course. Lol. That's funny. Thanks for your very interesting question, Diane. Yes, what I would do is, and it's a very interesting cheese, White Stilton, because it has the creaminess of the Blue Stilton, of course, without the Penicillium Roqueforti. So what you do, the milling stage is perfect for adding dried apricots. So what you need to do is steam about half a cup of chopped dried fruit for about 10 minutes to plump them up and to sterilize them so there's no molds or bacteria on the fruit, and then just add it to the curd just before just before filling the mold. So remember that the dried fruit will rehydrate a little more during the aging, and it may cause the paste to dry out a little more. So just be aware of that. So hopefully that answers your question, and thanks for that one, Diane. The patron of the week is Tim Organo. Thanks very much for your support, Tim. If you would like to support me on Patreon so I can make new and interesting cheeses like Tim has, then click through over here. If you liked the video, then don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, Curd Nerds, and we'll see you next week.